Hello, everybody, and welcome. Encore Overwatch coming at you live. I'm Ariel. I'm here with my wonderful casting partner, Gorbacheese. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, and I'm excited to get some Overwatch underway.
It's going to be a really, really exciting time. So, we would like to welcome you officially to the fall mini-tourney for Encore Overwatch. For this tournament, we're going to have four teams, and those are going to be Aquatik, TAMU White, SS Nautilus, and Celestial Wind. So let's go ahead and take a look at our bracket here. As you can see, this is a double elim tourney, and all maps except for the finals or all matches, I should say, except for the finals, will be first to three. The finals will be first to four. So compared to our last kickoff tournament, we're going to see longer matches and hopefully a lot more competitive, exciting action for you at home, which I'm very excited about. Because I'll be honest, those matches were a little short, and I think Gorbachev might be able to attest as well, as he played in that tournament.
That's right. It's been 4 months since we've gotten to see some Encore Overwatch. I'm excited to get back into it.
It's been such a long time, and so I'm going to go over here a little bit, just a couple of the main points, specifically our map pools. So for the first week, we're going to be starting off on Rialto, and following Rialto, it will be losers will pick the map, and it will go control, hybrid, assault, and then escort. And our map pool for those for control, we'll have Lijiang Tower, Nepal, and Oasis. For hybrid, we'll have Eichenwald, Kings Row, Numbani. For assault, we'll have Hanamura, Temple of Anubis, Volskaya Industries. So no Paris, no Horizon, none of that funny business up in here. Just all clean stuff, right? And then for escort, we'll have Havana, Route 66, and Watchpoint Gibraltar, if the matches do make it that far, which I certainly hope they do. Because again, I'll take that bonus Overwatch. Any more playtime I can get to see these players shine is just an absolute treat. So I'm going to have Gorbachev introduce our teams. So Gorbachev, would you like to take that away?
First match of the night will be the only match tonight. Team 1 is going to be Aquatik. Really excited to see this team. Some of the players that I've been told to look out for is Crafty on that tank and Ice Spirit on the support. Two core players that have been together for enough time now to really gel a sort of team that can just work together extremely efficiently. And moving into our second team, TAMU White. I'm really excited to see this tank line that they're going to pull out here. It just seems to be the bread and butter of their team. But hey, that's enough talking about Overwatch. I really want to start watching some Overwatch, you know?
Well, hopefully as we... I think just as you said that, our last player
All
showed
12
up.
players in the lobby.
We're here. We're live. Well, kind of live. But the match is about to get underway. And I'm super excited for this. Just from some of the, recent competitive play that you've seen, whether it's Overwatch League or any tournaments that you've been a part of, Gorbachev, what are you expecting to see from these two teams starting off here on Dorado?
Well, the name of the game here, no matter what map it is to be able to adapt to what your opponent is doing. All right, some teams get really good at some composition, whether that be a rush comp, like we've seen in the Overwatch League early with 6-man being one of the more dominant choices, or whether that be a ball comp. The point of the game is to be able to pick around what the other team is doing and to be able to find wins in situations where normally your team wouldn't be very good against a certain comp. Being able to overcome the mental block that stops you from getting past. It looks like we're going to be getting in here to Dorado. A few seconds here, we'll get some team compositions.
Ready for battle.
Team Aquatik here in the blue, Team TAMU White in the red. It looks like we're going to see a bit of a double shield mirror.
Yes.
I'm interested to see this DPS choices here. You see double shield. You either really want to hammer in on breaking the opponent's shield and making them use more resources to get away, or you want to set up off angles so that their shields can't block everything. Kind of what I'm seeing with this Ashe and Hanzo. The Lucio pick I find quite interesting. I kind of want to see where they'll speed around with this.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
And here comes the team. They're going to actually swap onto the Mercy. They're not going to keep the Lucio. A little bit of a speed boost to get him out. As they pulse Dynamite in it, but it's eaten by the Sigma. Big Halt Rock combo on the Crafty 2001. Now, you're going to see a lot of the reasons why TAMU White is not going to be able to come down this main very easily is because they've got that double high ground setup right here. So they're going to have to find a way to either take one of those two high grounds or take the other, but it's going to be very hard for them to take both. Halt coming in from Crafty here. Storm doesn't fight anything. Although you see here, oh, and April gets pulled off. This is where they take the engage here, and they've already broken one of the high grounds. Aquatik's gonna have to get really quick here to be able to get back. Resurrect's gonna come in, and an early Bob, much faster than any other ultimates on the side of TAMU White.
Extra dragon in there just for the fun of it, why not? Early on though, Unomi and Griffin really establishing a lot of dominance. Even though April did get pulled off that high ground early, they were able to still just sit up there, relax, reposition if they needed to, and pump in a lot of damage. And both of them able to use those early ultimates, even though they don't quite need all of them. But they're just getting a lot of free reign right now. So they're going to switch over to dive and see about contesting this high ground a little bit more.
Yeah, they're going to need to do something about their double high ground setup here. They had a nice pull onto the April, but they weren't able to finish off that fight. As the window comes in here. Oh, but it's deflected right back into Unomi. We're going to have a 5v6 power play here for TAMU White. The res is going to come in. They do not deny it. But look at the cart progress. They've already taken so much space. Here comes the Sigma Flux. It's going to find two, and they're going to kill Boostio, but they're going to trade their DPS for it. Brigitte battling alone on the point here. Dragon Blade coming out, going for the Baptiste, finds one. Going for the Sigma now. Or can he find the second? He does find the second one. This Mercy ult, though, might be able to keep them alive for long enough to recontest here. And he doesn't go for it. So that's going to be 0.1 given to TAMU White.
Good move by Ice Spirit, just getting out of there. Could have maybe, tried to contest that, but rather instead of feeding that ult charge, decided back out, get this high ground superiority once again. You've got a bongo here from Crafty, which you can use early on. And pump out
that bongo is going to be key here. That bongo is going to be needed to build the rest of their ultimates, because right now they are at a big ultimate disadvantage here. With looking at close to 4 or 5 ultimates on the side of a team White.
A lot of value coming out from this Mercy with all these rises coming out from Ice Spirit.
And here comes the dive onto the back line. And it looks like they're going to make an attempt to keep this high ground here, but it just seems as though they're kind of coming in one at a time. Primal out from Juka. He's going to find the Ashe Mercy and keep them separated from the rest of their team. It looks as though the D.Va is going to join them here soon. The DPS and the Mercy of Team Aquatik are split from their tanks and their Baptiste. Bomb coming inside. And April's going to be D-mech. Their tanks are in a lot of pressure here because they don't have the damage that come with them. But just as I say that, Griffin rejoins them and they manage to clean up the fight. A lot of ultimates being invested there from the tank line of a team TAMU White. And looks like they're going to swap onto a ball composition. What I'm looking at here is they kept the bongo, which means that they can use that to build up the rest of their Bob and Dragon. The pile driver is going to come into the middle of them. They don't have a stun on Team Aquatik, so their ball can just kind of move in and take as much space as he wants to here without having to worry about getting CC'd. As the rally comes in, they're able to take the point. Bob put in the back line of Team TAMU White. And here comes the Dragon Blade. Right into the LOS of this Bob, though. It's going to be very dangerous. Can he find the Ashe? The question. He does not. But while the whole time they were spent looking at that Genji, Team White just walks into the point and kills everyone that's there.
The payload has reached.
It was a costly death early on from Griffin. Came down from the high ground and somehow stayed alive for a few seconds. But TAMU White was able to find that kill before Ice Spirit could get them topped up. And as soon as you do that, you're just at a 6v5. And that disadvantage was, unfortunately, the tipping point there. But Aquatik will now have to hold this third point. They do have a couple ultimates, though. Got the Window, and also Dragons, and Diva Bomb.
And Yunomi finds the bridge. But Yunomi pays for it with his life. We've seen a lot of clutch reses come in. We're going to be able to get this one. He does. As the window comes out, they're not going to be able to push in past that. Although a bit of an odd angle. And it seems as though it's just cleanup now on the point. Team Aquatics is going to have to act much faster than TAMU White. There's a lot more resources having to be put into their Winston Diva comp, whereas the ball can just, he can roll away. He can get to health packs. Winston, not so much, because he has a one-time jump ability, and then that's it. It looks like their ball's going to scout out here. He's trying to build the rest of his minefield. As Aquatic swaps to the Ana, no more Baptiste. Look to use this Bob here as a stall tactic on the point so that they can take an engage. And that bomb finds Crafty. Without their tank, this is going to be very difficult for them to cause an engage. But the DPS, as I say that, they're able to clean up on the point and take out the backline. Big plays coming up from Unami and Griffin to be able to kill off the backline of TAMU White, despite their main tank being dead. However, you look at the ultimate disparity here. TAMU White coming in with 5 ultimates to their disposal. Aquatic's going to have to build up the rest of these. They're close to their Pamela, they're close to their Dragon. But if they take a quick fight here, they're going to be able to expose this ultimate disadvantage.
Given how low the time bank is, you're going to want to try to partition these ults out in a smart manner.
They're going to be able to get at least 2 fights in here. Early Dragon coming in. It looks like they're going to be able to survive it, though. Primal's also popped inside that little room. Griffin finds Boostio. Oh, and the ball is slept despite using Minefield. Although it splits the tanks and the Diva. Crafty takes the entirety of the Minefield. Makes room for his Nano Blade. That finds one. Close to finding a second one. He does not find the Ash, though. The Mercy lives and is able to keep up her entire team. But with Crafty dead, oh, Griffin finds the Diva, though. And the tank line of TAMU White is completely gone. And somehow, even after the tank line is completely taken out, Aquatic still is able to come back.
TAMU White taking a long time on these engages. They have all of the tools that they need, but they're just not finding the opportunities. And not really
7 seconds to touch the point. The Lucio's going to try to make an attempt here, but I don't think he can make it.
Oh no, not going to be able to.
Round 1 complete.
Round 1 finish off there, able to push it most of the way to that third point, but unfortunately most of the way isn't all of the way. And so they'll need to hold Aquatic here if they want a chance to win this map and go up 1-0.
Dorado is a very defensive-oriented map. So getting through point 2 with as much time bank as they did, it was a surprise to see just how great the defense came out there in point 3 from Aquatic. It seemed as though their Winston comp was significantly better and was able to cover the entirety of point 3. As opposed to the ball comp, which needed time to set up, and they couldn't set up in time because Yanami and Griffin were just finding kills right away. Here's though TAMU White's gonna also come out on the double shield, just as Aquatic did on their defense. Although a little bit of a change here, they're gonna have a Tracer instead of a Hanzo. Interested to see where this Tracer sets up here, and how she's gonna play around the pulls of Juka. Aquatic, on the other hand, looking to do what worked well for TAMU White on their point when attacked. Playing that dive, but a little bit of a variant here with the Farah Mercy.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
It looks like they're going to stage from bottom and try to
The payload.
go right up. As Sigma gets booped off immediately by Griffin, they're going to jump on him. Crafty gets rocked, though. I don't think they're going to be able to find this kill. The Immortality Field comes in to save him. And so now they're just taking poke damage from what is already a comp that wants to poke. But already another dive into them while their Immortality is down. So April's going to pay for it with his mech. Stayed in a little too long after Crafty had left.
Yeah, Crafty was forced down almost immediately there.
And Ice Spirit just gets head taken off. Boostio finds both the Fair Mercy. The name of the game here for Aquatik is Ultimate Generation. If they can build up a Nano fast, if they can build up their Barrage fast, if they can build up a Pulse Bomb fast, they can use those to break this high ground position that they have. And the Tracer here on the off angles. Crafty's burning here. Their Fair is just going to be looking to poke from an off angle. So Orisa has to choose here. Is she going to damage the Winston, or is she going to help pull into shots on the Pharah? As Jelly Doe is getting close and close to this Nano, he's got to be careful. Well, Jelly Beetle's looking for him. And the DPS have done it again. They found picks without needing to expend any ultimates. That's going to make this re-engage very difficult for TAMU White.
Yeah, Aquatik had plenty of time to set up their poke. Yunomi on the side there was just taking all of the attention of TAMU White, and that allowed Crafty to get up on the high ground, distract a little bit, and eventually they were able to get some key kills there to break that first point defense. And better yet, they also have plenty of tools in the kitchen cabinet here, as pretty much everybody but April is going to have an ultimate here on the side of Aquatik.
I'd be interested to see. Watch Nox and Socks here. He's going to need to save somebody with an Immortality here, as they've already found the Mercy. That one can't be rezzed, unlike the rest of them. And here comes the dive. Big Barrage coming in. Finds two. Finds a third. And that's going to be the bread and butter for how this team's Aquatik team works. Just heavy, impactful ultimates that build up very fast. I would look for either a Pulse Bomb or a Nano Winston here as an engage here. They're going to need to use the Bob to stall the point here, or else I don't know how they're going to be able to get close to it before this Nano Monkey comes in.
Looks like a double hit scan now coming out from TAMU White. Jelly Beetle switching over to that McCree.
Here comes the bomb go. Oh, they're going to be looking to clean up points, and that dive gets immediately blown up. But Juka pays for it. The anti-nade was insane coming from Jelly Doe. Oh, double bomb coming out from April. Oh, it seems like neither team was able to quite close it out here, as they chase far into the spawn area of Team White. But the Orisa's back and right behind them. The Orisa res might have just come in and saved the day. All the fight seems to be happening away from the point, though, so Aquatik just gets free cart progress. Sigma Flux coming in, finds the Diva. It's going to demech her right away. Okay, but they're going to jump onto the McCree here. Oh, but Crafty gives up on the McCree and falls to high ground. Probably could have found that kill. So what? Not almost their entire ultimate repertoire from both teams, and TAMU White comes out on top.
Jelly Beetle getting a little risky there, trying to find a quick pick on that Pharah. Nearly got it, but was unable to find the kill. This is a very important position here for TAMU White, as they're able to get the stop. The spawns are so far away from Aquatik, and so if you're going to hold on second point defense, this is a really good place to do it.
And here comes the dive on the back. Now, he had to use his entire jump, but he could not reach him. As now it looks like they're going to try to pressure out the McCree there, knowing that that's the one source of damage that can really stop most of their team, both with flashbang and able to shoot at the Pharah. But now here comes their barrage, and they're all playing together. Big shot, just canceled the barrage. It's almost as if they could hear me. Diva Bomb invested from April. Oh, but it's looking like it's going to be able to displace them enough. Jelly Doe finds Juka, but a res onto Juka. Seems like they're able to come back here. Sigma's in a lot of danger here. Riptide needs the help of their support, and he's going to get it. Diva's close to getting demech. Crafty's close to death. It just seems like everyone is low health, and it doesn't seem as though the target focus is there for either team right now.
I think they're definitely getting a little scrappy. Looks like Crafty was also trying to generate that ultimate before they died. Good old primal rage save. As you're deep in the back line,
And so-
just Primal Rage.
At what point, what was a huge ultimate advantage for Aquatik has all of a sudden turned into a fairly even matchup where Boostio's gonna be able to stall out this point with his Bob, and other than the Primal, I'm not really seeing much of an engage tool here for them. They've got so much distance to cover, but there's just so much poke with the Sigma, with the McCree, with the Ashe, and the Baptiste. It just doesn't seem as though they have enough time.
60 seconds remaining.
But they're gonna rotate onto this high ground here. This seems like with Boostio sleeping, they're probably gonna be able to get a free jump here. And they're gonna dive onto the backline. Boostio separated from his team, but they're gonna go for the McCree instead. Both tanks lifted up by the Sigma flux. That's gonna slow them down enough, give their DPS enough chance to build up the rest of that high noon. Window placed down in the bottom. It seems like that's just for the Baptiste. And their Primal Rage is gonna be in the backline. And Boostio's gonna find Crafty Juke and find Ice Spear. It seems like the red team TAMU White is having a lot of success in these fights that are more drawn out and much more chaotic. Well, with more poke damage, with more sustain, they're just able to survive longer fights. Aquatik's gonna need to figure something else out here to be able to touch this point. But with a barrage, don't be surprised if Griffin is able to pull this out. As Crafty's gonna be able to touch point, but he's gonna pay for it with his life. Nano Pharah coming in, going for that backline. And looking to do something with this barrage, but can't get close enough. Griffin finds one, but that's gonna be all. So they invest 2 ultimates and get 1 kill here. Bob is gonna kill one too. High noon down main. Boostio with second one. Griffin's looking dangerously low, and Boostio finds a third. Diva's the only thing stalling the point right now, as the ball's coming back soon. Crafty's gonna have to find a way. 5v1 here. Then that's gonna be it. Team TAMU White finds map number 1.
Just another clinical defense there. As you said, Dorado defensive map, and TAMU White able to pull out the bigger and badder defense as we get the play of the game here from You Know Me. Oh, first point with the Bob. A lot of really stellar Ashe play, I think. From
This Bob is just in such a great spot, covering 2-3 different angles here. I mean, just a really strong defense from both of them. They both understand that point 2 has very long sight lines, and it's very difficult for the opposing team to be able to cover those sight lines. And so both teams playing to that strength. Very impressive from both teams on defense, but TAMU White was just a little bit better. Some of that has to do with just the great shots from Boostio.
All right, so we're going to be moving to a control map here. Lijiang Tower, Nepal, or Oasis. I know we don't have a whole lot of experience with these teams, but if you're Aquatik here, what do you pick to try to counter some of what TAMU White does best?
Well, it seems as though TAMU White definitely understands how to control large spaces. So I would think that probably a Lijiang Tower, where your rotations, your choices for rotation, are much more condensed. And so you can kind of close that distance on some of these DPS players very quickly.
All
It
right,
looks
so-
like...
Looks like we're going to be going to Lijiang Tower. Side preference on control, of course. Classic decisions. But we're going to be going to Lijiang Tower, as you said. And something that I noticed that Aquatik really, whenever they did well, they were able to generate a lot of damage on off angles with precision striking, and being more, I guess, decisive than TAMU White. Because where TAMU White I saw struggle the most is when they couldn't either find an angle or they were waiting on a setup, and You Know Me or Griffin were able to get into good spots to get either picks on the back line or just cause so much damage that TAMU White had to continue to find another angle or recover a little bit. So it'll be very interesting to see what composition they'll play to try to maximize that portion of their game and try to push the tempo just slightly a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very interested to see how Gardens will react. So Gardens is another one of those maps that's very long sight lines, where standing in one spot, any character can see all the way into the other team spawn. And so I'd be very interested to see if they come out on this ball composition again, that really worked well for them on their point 2 attack, or if they're going to continue with this weird pseudo Winston Sigma comp
Now
that is
arriving at
all
Leon
based around the Winston disrupting, kind of similar to a ball, and the Sigma and the rest of the team doing a lot more poke damage. Looks like we're going to get Control Center first, though.
Classic Control Center. I always love this portion of Lijiang, especially just how often I used to play Ryan Zarya on it personally. Just good memories for me personally on this map. But will it be as good memories for TAMU White or Aquatik here?
And it looks like Team Aquatic seemed to have a very similar idea when they're selecting this map. Because they immediately come out onto this rush composition. TAMU White will match, but it seems as though they really want to have close, concise fights that are not spread out. Because they feel as though, as a team, they can decide on where things are going to happen and how they want them to happen, as opposed to a drawn-out, chaotic fight.
Round 1. Capture online.
Both teams are going to teleport to spawn. Looks like they're both going to keep the Symmetra. They're going to take a fight inside this room here. Turrets out, lots of damage coming in, and the Junkrat just got a lot of ult charge from that fight. Grip Immortality Field comes out though from Team Aquatic. This is going to be TAMU White's chance to be able to take an early fight, with more ultimate charge seeming to come out for both teams. Baptiste. It's going to be a race so you can window first here. But TAMU White's going to be able to take the point first, and there comes the window. Finds Griffin, and a tire from behind finds two. TAMU White, some heroic plays coming from their DPS here. After losing one, being able to close out a fight early by having point control. And now this is where you see this composition really have its strength, being able to take control of this one doorway. The Aquatic's going to have to choose if they're going to either try to force a fight here or try to take an off angle on the top right there.
They're taking a lot of damage in this door. The teleporter does get
TP coming in. And it seems like it was a distraction teleporter, but Crafty is going to die for it anyway. Did Crafty take that teleporter?
Yeah, Crafty went.
That's Crafty teleporter. There must have been some sort of charge plan there that just went completely awry. I completely saw through by TAMU White. And here comes a tire from Juko himself, coming from the outside. Looks, they're going to have to shoot it somehow. Window welcoming in. And there's 4 from Griffin! TAMU White's gonna have to find a way to solve this point. Like, down 4 players. There's quick cleanup from Aquatic. That's the kind of heroic plays that Aquatic wants to have inside short spaces. When they force the team fight to push forward, that's where things come in. TP coming in though. They never destroyed the TP over there, so they're gonna have an early fight right away. Ultimates look about even on both sides. Although a tire's coming in from Jelly Beetle. At least the tire's been extremely impactful in this map so far. Windows from both sides. But Juko's just gonna walk straight into the window of Jelly Dough. Bomb kind of in the middle of nowhere. And that tire gets blown up. Not as impactful as the other two. Both shatters at the same time, but Crafty finds Juko with Piz as opposed to the other way around. And somehow, Riptide finds it. It's just complete chaos here. Some ultimates you'll think are going in the way of one team, and somehow a heroic play will happen on the other end. Despite hitting more players with his shatter, Juko's team still finds a way to die first.
At the end of the day, TAMU White will go ahead and take a late pick there onto Griffin, but they will take
Big stagger
control.
coming in. They will have enough time to recontest here, but they're only going to be now in 1-5 territory. 78% for TAMU White. Only one ultimate in play right now as the wall with Boostio. Look for them to take a late engage and make a lot of their damage count on one side or the other. And there's the engage. They're going to split off their Hanzo Sigma. They're going to have to all play back. They're not going to be able to touch the point very easily here. Tire is built very fast from Jelly Beetle, but it's going to get blown up immediately by Griffin. Window coming in, but they don't touch! They waited out all those ultimates perfectly, but nobody was able to touch!
Score 0-1.
Give me map number 1 going with TAMU White.
Just a second more. Oh my goodness.
They had the right idea to be able to know when the ultimate disadvantage is there and be able to force ultimates out for little value. But the value that was found was that nobody was able to contest the point. We're going to move on to Market. It looks like TAMU White's going to want to hold on to this Symmetra, it looks like. I don't know if they're going to keep the Jargon. They're going to move Sim Mei against Sim McCree. The Mei, you're going to be able to control a lot more space than the McCree, but the McCree always comes with that flashbang. They're actually going to go McCree Tracer. Interesting. So TP's going to come in, and they're going to destroy it immediately, and they've got first point control. And immediately Jelly Beam finds Griffin. That long-range Icicle onto them. And they're going to be able to just hunker down on this point here. The Tracer's going to wrap around, though, and try to see if she can find something else. Yunami already 50% to her Pulse Bomb, and Crafty finds Boostio. Without the Symmetra, there's not that immediate damage threat. Big Shatter! Early Shatter onto this team. And Crafty finds Juka. Ultimate's coming up from both ends, but more of the kills happening in favor of Aquatik. And so despite an early point capture, a little bit of a stall here. Despite an early point capture, it seems as though Aquatik is going to be the ones that end up winning the fight. Ultimate's coming in, though, from the DPS side. I have a lot more faith in this Symmetra Wall and Mei ult than I do in the Pulse Bomb High Noon. But Yunami playing in the back here might be looking for a Pulse Bomb onto one of the supports, but she's seen out immediately. Teleporter into the back line. They're going to take an early engage into them, and a beat gets all 6 players end up onto the Diva, but she's going to be able to survive and bomb onto the point. High Noon on the left finds Boostio. So both immortalities traded. Griffin down from Jellybean. Shatter finds 2. Crafty's down on the ground. But the Pulse Bomb is going to lock up Juka, and it looks like Aquatik's going to be able to close out this fight. A lot of ultimates invested there from both teams. But the beat is kept by Aquatik, along with the window. So double support ult here from Aquatik against this male. Now, we got to be worried about this male here, because beat will not always save them. So I'm curious to see how they're going to play around this, if April can shut down this ult. And right into them. Crafty's cut off from the rest of his team. He's somehow going to be able to survive. There's not a fast engagement onto it. 2 slams by it. They beat the male, but it looks like the male's still going to freeze 2. Immortality's going to be able to save the Lucio. We're using both the beat and the immortality. They're able to save people, but TAMU White's just going to kill all the people that aren't even frozen. So the frozen players don't get pushed into the plate. Diva Bomb coming in. Ice Spirit flies right into it! April's going to be deemed back. No players alive here for Team Aquatik. Griffin, late pick onto Boostio. We're going to see if they're going to be able to capitalize on that coming out of this next fight. 1 fight territory. TAMU White needs to be able to get their McCree back soon. Ice block used early.
Pull the window out early to maybe make up for a little bit of that and buy a little time for Boostio to get back.
Support ult, DPS ultimate's almost online, but looking to this beat that's almost online from TAMU White. As here comes the engage. They're just going to engage down main with the Tracer flanking on the other side. Window down on main is going to burn through that Rhine Shield very quickly. They're going to have to play out of LOS and just wait it out. Remember, Aquatik is not in a hurry here. Only 55%. Pulse Bomb use does not find anything. Take High Noon use in response to the window. They're going to have a tough time peeking that. Window use early, and Yunami's going to find Jelly Bee. They cannot control space anymore not without that. And just like that, Aquatik immediately takes the point. Shatter onto the Diva with the High Noon. The Diva's not going to be able to eat that. Fire Dragon Knight. Right, as the beat was expiring. And looks like Aquatik's going to try to stall out this point here. Aquatik, with some heroic kills, Nox somehow falls off the map. 2 kills coming in. Somehow Aquatik's able to turn this around, but Bomb coming in, 5-3! TAMU White refusing to lose this map against Aquatik. But just as I say that, a bomb and a pulse bomb coming in from the other side. And Yunami fights 2 with the pulse bomb. TAMU White now with complete control of the point. But here comes the Aquatic core. 5 people from Team Aquatic on point. Beat coming in and completely nullifies that window. Ball into touch. Lucio, the only player on point. 10% to go. Oh, here. Who's gonna touch from Team Aquatic? Or from Team TAMU White? Trace is gonna get the touch, but killed immediately. Flashbang headshot. That's gonna do that to you. Window here for Jelly Bill. Gonna kill off the Griffin. Here comes another solid ball. Gonna be able to touch. Lucio comes next. No ultimates in sight though, so I don't know how they're gonna be able to stall this out properly. What did it feel like there? It felt like 4 different team swaps on who was winning one team fight.
Score.
That was as close as a round that as I've seen for a while, and so much going on in the chaos. As you noted, at one point Nox fell off the map, but what had happened is Griffin had flashbanged. I believe it was Nox and maybe Riptide were outside there, and Griffin flashbanged both of them, but Nox was mid-jump and fell right off the map. And that could have very well been the difference. As you saw there, TAMU White was on the verge of taking it.
I mean, what felt like one ultimate would get 3 kills, and then the next one would get 3, and so 4 different ultimates got 2 or more kills there.
Capture the objective.
Both teams going to come out on what I like to call 6-man, but a little bit of a variant for TAMU White. Going to come out with the McCree instead. Looking to stun what would already be a dive into them. TAMU White taking a lot more space here. There's lots of respect for that flashbang. Flash is crafty immediately. Low health already. You're going to have to use the healing orb onto him. And that's still not going to be enough. But he dives in anyway with only half health. And he's going to get blown up immediately. And so now without their main tank, but the point control, we're going to have to see what kind of engage TAMU White wants to take here. There's flashbang onto the Reaper. Or finds a kill there. 3-man antis though. And that's going to be the fight going in favor of TAMU White. Late kill onto Juka and Jelly Beetle. Oh, Aquatic might be looking to turn this. It feels like as I'm saying a team is winning, one team has a heroic play from their team. Diva DMX by the high noon, but it kind of feels like a late investment. Dagger Touch is coming in. TAMU White's going to try to milk as much of the clock as they can. Primal coming in. And Primal finds Ice Spirit. And Jelly Beetle finds another. Aquatic might not even get the point after all of those kills. Anti-nade onto 3. Beat coming out too. Looks like TAMU White's going to clean up this point. So much invested from both teams, but Aquatic seems to lose out on those trades. But what they trade is they trade ultimates that they're able to build up very quickly. Gonna be looking at close to 6 ultimates on the side of Aquatic. TAMU is gonna have to find some heroics out of a flashbang here, maybe a pulse bomb onto a player that's ultimating. But a big ultimate disadvantage coming into this fight. Diva Bomb gonna be what engages here. It's gonna force the players onto the bridge right where they were waiting for them. Pulse Bomb onto the Lucio, and with that, 63 on the point. Although, I'm curious to see if they can get another heroic stall. That's all we've been seeing all night. Trace is going to be the next one to touch here on the left here. And that one's not going to last for as long. So 77% in what felt like only 2 team fights. Very drawn out fights that seemed to last forever. This case in favor of TAMU White.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be the same story as last round where TAMU White got the early take, but then Aquatic was going to come back and recapture, but some epic stalling just really turned out on
Coalescence coming in. They're going to look to pinch them in here. Jelly Beetle finds Jelly Beetle. Oh, yes, you heard that right. Jelly kills Jelly. Jelly finds a 3rd with this Coalescence, and a 4th afterwards. Jelly Doe finding 4 kills. Aslan's probably not going to be able to be stalled out. Now see, this is the kind of play that is very well choreographed by TAMU White. Understanding that because they're not playing for point control anymore, there's no reason to invest any more into it. And now that they come back with 6, they're able to invest in ultimate. Kainun's gonna find Crafty out of his primal form. Pulse Bomb though will find Nox. Trading blow for blow here. 4v4 on the point. Beat put into it to try and get some life. Almost Goomba stomped. Juka's gonna find Jelly Dode though. Low healing on the side of Aquatik. Okay. But they're gonna look to try to stall out this point here, the similar way that TAMU White did. Milk as much percentage out of this as they can. Nanu onto the Tracer. They're gonna look to just win this fight outright. Pulse Bomb. Pulse Bomb's the bomb, but they're gonna pay for it with his life. TAMU White gonna take a disengage here, try to heal up their teammate and come back in with more, but that leaves Nox all by himself near the point. Nox, being that Ana, is gonna be a very, very easy target to dive on for this 6-man. Do not want to leave him that close to the other team. 91% and counting. They're gonna get one tick here, and they're gonna have to do it without their Ana. Crutch is gonna come in and beat Invested in the High Noon. Beat High Noon. All eaten by the April DM. Juka's gonna fall dangerously low, as is their Lucio. Diva Bomb's gonna be the only tool they have to work with here. Diva Bomb onto the point. Finds none. And April's gonna lose Dragon Knife. Griffin finds Nox. Now it's 4v6, 3v6 situation. And TAMU White's gonna have to find him some more magic this game. Griffin, DMX, and Tracer and Date Diva are gonna be the only ones able to stall at this point. Lucio's gonna be the next to touch. Touch isn't anywhere close to that beat though, so he's gonna have to get as much as he can out of it, but that's gonna be it. Aquatik's gonna tie up this series 1-1.
What a frenetic map. Half the time you had a beat on what was going on, but in reality you didn't. We're looking at the awesome Tire here on Control Center. Here from Britain.
Tire got all the time out of it that he could.
Oh, that was just downright dirty. My goodness.
I mean, what felt like very chaotic fights always went in favor of whoever held the point and whoever needed to stall out more time. So what could have been 3 or 4 fights for TAMU White on that last map could have only become 2. So they get 1 fight and they get 70% out of it. And then after they disengage, then they come back in. And while Aquatik's only at 20%, by the time that fight's over, all said and done, they regroup. Now they're in 1-fight territory, only at 95%, so someone's got to make a hasty touch. I like to see a little bit more of a disengage here onto the next maps. You know, knowing when the fight is over, we need to conserve our resources and not invest ultimates when the fight is already lost.
Yeah, I feel like it's very easy to do that on Lijiang Towers, to over-invest yourself, and we just saw it time and time again. And as players, we've been a part of that, you know, major swings to where you just stall for what seems like years, and a fight that was just not winnable at all is suddenly yours. So a little bit of fun on that map, but as you said, definitely these teams need to learn when to disengage. But hopefully they'll be able to do that here on this next map. It looks like it is going to be King's Row. Going to King's Row here, and
famously popular among the Scrim community.
Scrim's Row, as it is
deemed.
Yes, as it is so lovingly called. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited to see this. With how scrappy that last map was, you're gonna need a lot of that here on King's Row with some of these tighter corridors. In past metas, we've seen a lot of rush compositions where you got to be aggressive, got to get in your face, and that can sometimes lend itself to those scrappy natures, where sometimes, you know, the fight starts to devolve into 2 different places as players see different opportunities. So it'll be very interesting to see how both of these teams decide to approach this map.
Fights are going to need to be a lot more decisive on this map than they were in the last map. This isn't like Control where you can continue to stall out a point as long as you want. What's going to happen here is once a team has the payload, when that team has the payload, they have it. And so one team needs to take it from the other, as opposed to one player can just sort of stall here and there. It's not going to work as well here on King's Row. This is where we're going to need to see that adaptation come in, and players need to understand we need to invest ultimates when we can take it back.
Looks like we are getting ready here. Just one moment as the teams are readying up. So after seeing two maps, both teams have taken one. Who do you think would have potentially an edge, if any team, coming up into Kings Row?
Coming into Kings Row, if we're gonna see a brawl versus brawl matchup, so a Reinhardt brawl or a Winston Diva brawl, I would give the advantage over to Aquatik because they have been much more decisive on which targets they're going to go into and which direction they're going to walk to get there. We saw it on Dorado, even though they lost because they couldn't cover all that ground, and then they continued to push that into Lijiang. TAMU White, though, I would like to see a little bit of creativity here, not just roll out onto the brawl and try to come in with something that's a little bit more unique, be able to control angles on them. Because once Aquatik isn't able to pick a direction and just go into to get kills, that's where Team Aquatik, or TAMU White, has all of their bread and butter.
So on
A little bit of a
defensive side-
tease there on the Wrecking Ball, but I would be interested to see if they come out on this Pharah Mercy here. Because Pharah Mercy can produce that off angle that they're looking for. Maycree from Aquatik, a little bit of an old school comp. I think they pulled this out on Lijiang Market.
1.
So they've already shown that they're willing to do this. And they're going to swap off the Pharah Mercy. So straight mirror here. It looks like TAMU White's going to path along the outside of the statue here. Wall's going to find two who cut off, but they're going to be able to just squeeze through there. Not as much failure, but now Aquatik does not have that wall, and TAMU White does. But just as I say that, Juka falls immediately. He isn't able to be kept up. Late immortality there from Aquatik is going to be able to secure even more kills, really delay that. And already 40 seconds off the clock after one fight.
Talking about decisive fights and trying to back out a little more quickly, TAMU White did do a good job of recognizing that, but unfortunately just wasn't able to get out quick enough as Aquatik, with Ice Spirit on the Lucio, boosting them in, getting those extra kills.
Window utility, but they're just going to rotate around and take the point. Aquatik doing what they always do, taking a quick, decisive engages, but this time they're punished for it. And yet, still, Aquatik finding the pick onto Juka. Great rotation, but not able to capitalize on their ultimate. And so now they're just going to have a long, drawn-out fight. Big for the defense here, because that just means more time off the clock. And more ultimates for them. More time to build them.
And some more grueling exit kills there from
But
Aquatik.
Yonomi almost onto his second high noon here. Looks like we're going to be matching DPS ults here, but a Shatter is going to be the difference here with Aquatik. They're going to have to find a way to play around that. They're going to look to take another engage around statue, similar to their first time. And again, a wall coming in and finding three blocked off, but all three are able to escape. Early. Oh, Shatter finds three. Bomb into the back line. He's going to find three. The three that are shattered. Big bomb shatter combo. A little bit late on the bomb, but it doesn't matter because they find it anyway. Just a brutal stagger here onto the Diva. And already more than half the time make is gone here. But if you'll notice, TAMU White did not invest any ultimates into that lost fight. So that's 2 ultimates invested from Aquatik and none invested from TAMU White. Stagger kill on the boost heal is going to make their time make even longer. Bit of an early wall. We're going to see if it's going to be able to be off cooldown by the time they take an engage here. But Aquatik's going to be looking to have an early engage here with these ultimates because they need to understand they are at an ultimate disadvantage. Windows coming out early. Fire Strike into it. Bomb kind of in the middle of nowhere. And that freeze is going to find the Baptiste. Windows might be able to keep him up though. High Noon all the way in the back line is going to keep them zoned out. High Noon finds 2! And all their ultimates invested in where it's going to be able to shore up that Aquatik is not going to survive this fight. We're going to get to see more of King's Row.
And I'm not going to complain about that at all. Honestly, was a little bit worried when that Diva Bomb settled a little long and Aquatik was able to just kind of come forward a little bit, duck inside a room and avoid that. But some great flanking there by Bustio to get a couple of Deadeye kills there.
Mm-hmm. And now ultimates are going to be a little bit closer. We're going to be seeing a Shatter favor towards Aquatik here. And the name of the game here is going to be, can you shut down the other team's ultimate? They're going to trade beats here, but are you able to shut down Crafty's ultimate? Early engagement here. A lot of space taken back from Aquatik. Wall's going to cut Crafty off. Counter Wall's able to save him, though. Beat invested early here, but they're not able to take another 5-man shatter. That is an absolute massive shatter from Crafty. They're going to be able to clean up the fight after that. Taking advantage of the shield being completely decimated from that early damage he took from the Mei wall. And now we're going to be looking at Bustio having that high noon. You not be a little bit slow on it. But probably going to be able to build it up fast enough. Early wall here, going to split off the rotation. They have to know they're coming high ground here. They're just going to abandon going. They're going to take an early fight. Crafty's cut off. He's in a lot of danger right now. So just the main tank experience happening right there. Bomb coming in, gonna force them even further back. Does not find any, but the Mei is completely cut off. Gonna get stomped on by that D.Va pre-mech.
Interesting window there by Jellydoe. Maybe trying to stem the tide, but unfortunately just gonna back off anyways. Could have been a really nice tool for them to try to re-engage here as this cart nears the second checkpoint. So now you're gonna have to walk into Nox's Batiste window. This could be kind of hard unless Vapor can find a big bomb.
Early bomb coming in. Gonna get stopped by the wall, but it blocks it and kind of stops it right there. Ice block and Maywall having to be used, but traded out is the male. Male for male. Both males find many players. Can one male turn the other one? One came just a little bit later, and that's gonna be the big difference here in this fight. When half your players are already frozen, it doesn't matter how many you freeze.
Let's keep it going.
Lots of very late ultimates being used from the side of Aquatik. They're going to have to clean that up here if they're hoping to hold this fight. We're going to go into point 3 of King's Row. No ultimates for either side. A Reaper swap off of the McCree. They're going to look to take much faster engagements here. Pulling the corner. The D.Va's going to have to push this Reaper up. But now they have high ground control. But as you see, Jellydoe is building up that Baptiste ultimate much faster. And here it is early. Gonna have to they're using it very slowly though. Oh, they're not taking the engage onto it, but it doesn't matter. Enough damage comes through. A few ice kills through that Baptiste wall is gonna be enough to be able to get enough kills. But you see the difference here. TAMU White did not invest ultimates into that losing fight, so they're gonna have their full repertoire here for a next engage.
Very important for Ice Spirit to get a very good beat here. Help keep Aquatik alive.
Crafty, a little split from the rest of his team. They're gonna wall him off, and then Mail. Beat gonna be invested. He's gonna be able to keep his Crafty up, but the lamp is used to save the Baptiste. The Crafty is completely destroyed while he's frozen up. No matter how much health you have, that's gonna get melted through if you don't have a mortality field, and it's gonna be a cleanup here. One more engage, though, for Aquatik to try and stall out the rest of King's Row. They're gonna have a Reaper ult, a Mei ult, and a Reinhardt ult here. Close to D.Va Bomb as well. D.Va Bomb invested early here, but they're gonna kill 2! They're not able to use their ultimates in time! Reaper ult invested, but it's gonna get entirely eaten up. Mei ult onto the point, gonna find the ball. And that's gonna might be the pick that they need to be able to retake this point. TAMU White takes a soft disengage. They know without their main tank, they cannot fight into the brawling aspect that they have. Swap back on the Reinhardt here. All the ultimate advantage going to Aquatik. Let's see if TAMU White's able to build up that Mei ult in time and get enough value out of it. Window used early. They're not able to push into that window. They're going to have to wait for it. 10 seconds left. Shatter finds Juka. They're gonna kill the main tank. They have no main tank. They're gonna have to take the fight onto the point. But all their players are low. Mailed onto the point though. Gonna freeze 2. And the Reinhardt's able to live. Back and forth fight. But the ultimate advantage is just there. And so Aquatik's gonna be able to hold the rest of King's Row. Win condition in sight for map 3.
Again, seeing some strong defenses coming out from Aquatik here, and now will their offense be able to overpower TAMU White's defense? Remember going back to Dorado, Aquatik just was not able to, unfortunately, push it as far as they needed to, and they got stopped just before second point, which can very easily happen here if you get a poor fight and you die right as the cart is around this little checkpoint. But so from that sequence of offense and defense there, what does Aquatik need to do to push it all the way?
Well, Aquatik did an excellent job of figuring out their ultimate rotation all the way through that entire map there. They were able to hold point one so effectively because they were able to win fights using one, maybe two ultimates. And so TAMU White had to brute force their way through both point one and point two using multiple ultimates. And when they couldn't brute force their way through point three, they just faltered. So 4 or 5 ultimates invested in one fight and then a swap onto the ball to try and re-engage early, but it just wasn't enough to get through that mail. Very good ultimate rotation. Much better improvement as the map has gone on for Aquatik. Looks like we're going to get another mirror match here. They really like playing this Mei Cree. They're going to catch the D.Va with the Mei wall, but the D.Va just has jump jet. She's just going to fly away. So no Mei, and their Mei is going to be split. Look for an engage here from Crafty. Heavy amounts of damage, though, put onto the tank line, making it very difficult. Mei ults off from both sides. Shields are running very low for both teams. First one broken is Juka. He's going to have to play safe. As Aquatik just walks onto this point. Although their immortality is out now. Lucio down. Immortality's out both sides. Window comes first from Aquatik. They're going to be able to hold this point. There's no way you can push into that. They had to use their entire DM to keep their Reinhardt alive after his shield broke. They just couldn't keep the rest of the team going. And Team Aquatik, they're going to find point one very quickly. It's a lot of time bank left here. Although, you see a lot more damage because of how fast Jelly Dough was able to build up that window, because of how much damage TAMU White is putting out here. So you can see it in the ultimates here. Mei ultimate on the side of TAMU White, and none on the side of Aquatik. They're going to have to take a fight early here if they want to have a chance.
It seems that TAMU White was looking for a little bit more player damage as reflected by that ultimate. However, I think was Juka's shield was the first to fall, so they had to give up so much positioning and space, and Aquatik was able to just kind of wrestle the point from them based off of that shield pressuring advantage.
Very slow to engage here. They're going to give Aquatik enough time to build up the rest of this mail and that beat. Ultimate advantage. Now all of a sudden, what was in favor of TAMU White, all of a sudden quickly goes in favor of Aquatik. Wall coming out, blocks the shatter with the Mei wall. Oh, D.Va bomb into the backline though is gonna take out the immortality field. Griffins has his ice mails eaten, beaten. Oh, but 4-man shatter. That might be the turn that they need as they kill the Mei, and they have to quickly disengage. 3 players are stunned there, so they're not gonna be able to get away. You see the beat completely nullified from a later shatter. Crafty, a bit of heroics there to be able to pull that fight out. Close to a beat shatter of their own, though, is TAMU White.
As I alluded to earlier, this payload positioning is
Making an early engage into that window. Oh, they're going to lose Juka right away. Very early engage that gets completely split apart when their team is so far and few away from each other. They're going to have to disengage fast if they want to take another fight here. Close to support ult though. They might be able to get this back, and just like that, they managed to clean up. Not sure how they're going to be able to touch now without their support.
Yeah, that very may well just seal the deal here for second point. And,
Big ultimate advantage though coming in for TAMU White. We're going to have to see if they can ration these out properly. Boostio, early pick on the Yanami. They're going to try to take an early engage here now that they have a big man advantage. High Noon, gonna keep all the players behind that shield. There is no shield anymore. They're gonna take a fight here. The Shatter finds 3 here. And that's probably gonna be the end of this fight. Looking for stagger kills onto the Lucio. Don't think he's gonna get it. Their Mei has to go very deep for it. Jelly Beetles have to be very careful here. But, just as I said, they only invest 2 ultimates and they're able to win. Now they have 3 more for this fight against the opponent's 2. Crafty looking to take an early engage here, but TAMU White just backs up to the corner, trying to play that cover so that they don't have to use as much shield as they do. Crafty looking to build up a shatter quickly. He's looking to get into the backline here. Mayo's gonna freeze up the May. Hey, that Immortality's gonna be able to keep her up. Insane Immortality, gonna be able to keep her up long enough. Boostio kills Griffin. And one team has a May, the other one does not. And just like that, Jelly Beetle goes down just as I say that. Bomb into the backline is gonna get blocked by Juka, but he no longer has a shield, so this High Noon is now in prime position to get value. And White cleaning up on the cart here. Unami's just gonna go for a quick disengage. So 4 ultimates spent on the side of Aquatik with nothing to show for it against just 1 beat and 1 shatter from TAMU White. And the shatter is almost built already. 3 minutes and 19 seconds left. Rip time with this bomb here. Gonna look to keep them slow. They're gonna have to quickly disengage, lose their shield. Somehow finds the support! Were they not find the shield? Something went horribly awry there. They win a fight off of just 1 Diva Bomb here, and they're able to keep the rest of their ultimates almost close to their other 5.
Fights like this are really going to help TAMU White win this map. If you only have to use 1 ultimate, this time bank is going to disappear very quickly, but it looks like Ice Spirit and Jellygo tried to go for the hallway there to their left, to the defense's right, and unfortunately just got caught out by that Diva Bomb.
Early engage coming on, they set this in line. Fine, that window's gonna be very dangerous for that McCree. Immortality is spent to keep him alive. Fine, Speed New coming in from the other side here. High Noon finds May. No Mail for the side of Team Aquatik this fight, and they're just gonna clean up here. What was a 5 minute and 15-second time bank is now down to 2 minutes here. Team White starting to look like they can actually pull it off here.
Well, they used only Window and High Noon there in that fight to TAMU White?
Only Window and High Noon. They're gonna be close to this beat here. But beat on the side of Aquatik's gonna be able to let them get through this shatter and this mail here. They're gonna have to find a way to survive one of them without a beat. Mail and Baptiste are gonna be able to cause an early headache for these guys. Early engage here. The mail's eaten by April. So Mail comes in, doesn't freeze anybody, but forces everyone back. They find 2 kills with it. So Wall's gonna cut off the tanks from their supports. They're gonna look to really try to hammer around this Reinhardt. 1 more engage here for TAMU White. Minute 25 on the clock. Aquatik gets at least 2 fights here. TAMU White's gotta figure something out here fast. Diva's gonna come in from the other right side here. They're close to her Diva Bomb. She's gotta stay alive for 1 meter close. Oh, they just barely touched. High Spirit finds Boostio, and the shatter gets canceled by their shatter. Beat in from the side of TAMU White. Gonna be able to keep them up. Mail's in the backline though, freezing everyone. Bomb kind of in the middle of nowhere. Not sure what he was trying to go for that. Riptide kills April before she's able to get back in the revac. Crafty's low. The tank line is gone for Aquatik. And just like that, we're in 1 fight territory. 45 seconds for Aquatik to cap the point. Evenly matched on ultimates here. They're gonna have a bomb. They're gonna have a window. They're gonna have a shatter against the High Noon Diva Bomb shatter. Early pick on a Jelly Beetle. Well, she probably has enough time to get back in time for this engage here. But what's this? Juka's on a bit of a flank here. He might be looking for a flank shatter here. In their backline. The shatter finds 3! Diva Bomb in! It's gonna find Lucio! Oh my... And that's the kind of adaptation that you look for when you're trying to win a tournament match. Bob finds 1. Bob is not on the point though. Someone else needs to touch. 8 seconds left. Diva's the only one that looks like they're gonna be able to touch here with the Rhine coming in shortly after. Shatter's gonna have to be big if they serve any time. Maywall blocks the Diva, and just like that, TAMU White, insane flank Shatter. And ladies and gentlemen, we go to map 4 here with a score of 2-1.
Play of the game.
Such creativity there, and you every time you see it, you're like, oh, they have to know, right? You know, and
oh my god, how did I miss that?
My Dragon Knight getting a 2K. Always love those environmental kills. Always will take them wherever we can get them.
I'm your resident main support here, and somehow I missed the main support play of the game. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you, Ariel, but I'm getting quite thirsty watching all the yelling I have to do for all these heroic plays.
Yeah, the heat is really turning up. Both of these teams are making such clutch plays, and TAMU White just coming out with the bigger ones. Juka with that flank shatter, knocking down Crafty and April, and after that it was just kind of it was done. Even though they were on equal footing, I was slightly worried because TAMU White didn't have any support ultimates, and Aquatik had Jelly Dough's window, so I was thinking, depending on like where they were going to set up, could have been a very precarious position for them. But because Juka decided to flank around and Aquatik didn't notice it, that saved them being in potentially a lot of trouble, especially since they switched to that Ash to try to outrange the Boostio on the McCree, and it looked like it was working, and they had Bob as well, but just
and the Bob was in pretty good position. It would have been better if it could have been on the point, but from understanding point, they had nowhere to hide. So without that flank shatter, TAMU White did not have the tools to be able to prevent that attack there. But just an incredibly creative play, finding the shatter onto the three most important players of that core. No tanks, no Lucio. It's almost impossible to be able to take the point at that point.
And now looking for next map, it looks like we will be going to Temple of Anubis here.
Everyone's favorite map type here on the 2CP. Assault, as they would call it in the business.
Yes, the business name obviously is Assault, but you could call it 2CP on its lunch hour. Now going into Temple of Anubis, again, we're seeing some tight chokes that you have to fit through, and some spots where you have to be very decisive. Looking back in the last map, who do you think improved in being decisive?
Well, TAMU White, they clearly went into that with set plans. Like, they knew what Aquatik's win conditions were, especially there on the final fight, but even going into on their own offense. Their offense was very scrappy. They had to burst so many ultimates just to take each point. But they understood that if we are able to just win one fight, then we have the point. And so then when they came in on their defense, they understood where the ultimate disadvantages were. They understood where their mistakes were, and they punished those same mistakes on Team Aquatik. Very quick changes mid-map. Now, going into Anubis here, I get very excited to see how they want to stuff these chokes. All right, Aquatik's going to be the first team on defense here. And part of the creativity here when you have these kind of choke points is how you want to choose to stuff them. You can either stuff them by putting a big rectangle man right in front of it and just hitting anything that comes up to it. You can stuff it by putting a lot of spam damage to it, maybe a Junkrat, maybe a Pharah. Maybe you want to dive into those chokes. Say they push into the doorway and then Winston is already inside their team, landing the moment they try to go for it.
Now
It's a matter of once one team is able to take a choke, they can then move on to the next one.
Initiating match.
Now, this is where I want to see a lot of creativity come in. We've seen a lot of mirror matches. Now I want to see what both teams have been holding back in store here.
Yeah, Anubis really is
Team
that
Aquatik
map.
did choose this map.
They did. So maybe we'll see a little something special from them on this map. It's a fun map to be able to just really
Ready for
play
battle.
something niche. I feel there's so many different things that can work, and as you said, listed out so many options for stuffing people in these chokes. And it looks like on the defensive side, we're gonna go with double shield. And Yunomi and Griffin on the Ash Hanzo. We saw them pop off a lot on Dorado. It'll be interesting to see if they could replicate that success.
Yeah, their prowess on these heroes was already proven on Dorado. I'm very interested to see how they take engages into each choke here. How they're going to position their DPS to be able to hit every single doorway to make sure they get every single bit of damage here. But TAMU White coming out on that Winston Diva Anna here, they're going to be looking to build up their Nano Monkey very quickly. And is that a Genji I see? Maybe we won't see any Nano Monkey, but instead some Nano Blades. All your resident Genji mains that are in our chat here are getting really excited here.
The salivation
It looks like
is
they're going to
strong.
stack here on this first point. I'm going to look to see the offense probably diving right into them. They get so much splash damage in there as that coach gun pushes them away. They're not able to take an engage. As I say that, early engage onto them, they're going to have to use immortality just to keep each other alive. Ice Spirit falling dangerously low, but Juka plays for it with his life. Spends way too much time waiting on that high ground there. You are not going to want to be there when Griffin and Unomi is shooting at you. They will blow you up.
And Crafty with a big pull there also to put Juka back in that position. As you said, Juka spent a little bit too much time up there and decided, oh, maybe I need to be out. And Crafty said, nuh-uh, not today.
And you can see it with how fast they are building this Bob here. They already almost have Bob. They already almost have their window. But the Nano coming on here. I wonder if they Nano the Monkey to take the space here, so that then they can build another Nano in time for this Blade. Looks like they're going to stage from this Mega here. Griffin, playing on an off-angle here, gets a lot of damage into that little room. Juka going really low, getting close to that Dragon. DPS ultimate's coming online. Window's going to be used, who's right into that alleyway, and they're going to be able to use it tremendously, killing the Brigitte, then being able to get the cleanup kills. And that's part of the strengths that these defenses need to do. As soon as TAMU White is rotating up those stairs, they immediately get punished by a window. And they only need to invest window into that. 5 ultimates on the side of Aquatik after a 1 fight. It looks like we're going to see some swaps here. I gotta wonder, how long are they going to hold on to this Genji here? Yes. No Blade yet. We're 2 minutes in. You got to be putting a lot of faith into the Jelly Beetle here.
Yeah, not even halfway up to that ultimate. Looks like Juko will go to the ball. I was about to ask, like, would a ball...
Ball's gonna roll through. Does not catch the Orisa. Golden just in time. So now they're gonna take a lot of poke damage. They're gonna give Orisa the rest of her ultimate here. Slam onto the back line. Gonna force out immortality early. Dragon's gonna stuff that choke, but it doesn't even seem as though they're going for that choke. The Dragon doesn't find anything. The same ult completely whips. Ultimate's just being wasted on the side of TAMU White. But they do find the kill on the Griffin. Excuse me, Aquatik's wasting all of these ultimates and still dies. Crafty's going to be able to hold this point here with this Bob, though. So that's the name of the game, though. So long as they can keep holding this point, then TAMU White's not going to win. Immortality forced out. Nano onto Juka. Here he comes into the tank line here. Looking for the Orisa, as both tanks are going to go for it. They do find it. No shield able to block this Diva Bomb, but it still finds nothing. Nano Blade into the backline. Doesn't find any, but it looks like it was a contributor in the kill on Ice Spear. It also finds the kill on April. Long build up onto this Nano Blade, but they do still end up winning the point. 54 seconds into it. Very similar to what we saw on their offense last map, where they need to invest several ultimates to be able to get kills.
And they were able to generate those ultimates a lot more quickly after they switched Juka onto the ball and Boostio onto the Tracer, forcing Aquatik to have to look in multiple directions and not be able to just focus them down in one sightline.
Yep, very, very smart gameplay swap. Mid-map decisions. They understand the win conditions of the defense, and they swap to it. Dive onto this high ground here. Used his pile driver, though. Bongo gonna come in. That's gonna be a very difficult Bongo to go in on, too. Pulse Bomb does kill the Bongo, but the Immortality is gonna keep everyone else up. Closest to portals on the side of Aquatik. Jelly Beetle's gonna go very low, and that's gonna be 2 kills for this defense. And quick disengage from TAMU White, understanding they are not gonna win this fight. May as well not give them the rest of their ultimate charge. But that Bongo built up the rest of their ultimates. 5 ultimates on the side of Aquatik. 5 ultimates versus this Nano Beat Blade. Oh, we're gonna have a pause
like
here.
There is a pause here.
Somebody must have disconnected here. See who this is on here.
Yep,
looks like we lost Unomi. That's pretty big. They're gonna lose their Bob. There. She's probably gonna have to come. Unomi's probably gonna have to come back on some sort of quick hero that doesn't need to rely on their ultimate here, because a team TAMU White's gonna be coming in quickly here.
Yeah, they're very close to that Nano Blade. Socks at looks like 86% and Jelly Beetle at 80. So just a little bit more poke and they'll have that dangerous combination. And you really don't have a whole lot outside of an Immortality field, which can be easily swept aside for Aquatik. So that disconnect is really going to hurt them a lot.
Looks like they're going to come back in. I'd be interested to see how Griffin uses this Dragon. If he's able to prevent this Genji from being able to go on his teammate. Unomi onto the Doom to get back quickly. Tracer's going to already be onto the back line. Griffin under pressure. These off angles are causing a lot of issues. Griffin still finds the shot on a Boostio. Jellydo kills Juco, and that engage is going to be quickly gotten rid of. It seemed as though the Tracer ball were already killed mid-scout. Ultimates are even here, though. Both teams are looking at 4 ultimates here, and 4 very impactful ultimates. Dragon used very early. Gonna force the Lucio into open his space, but they don't kill him. He's able to walk right in front of the Doom and Hanzo, and he's able to live. That Dragon seemingly wasted. And here comes the Nano Blade into the backline. But he doesn't know where they went. They just climb up the wall, but the minefield kills them anyway. Griffin seemingly able to get away for a shortened time before falling directly onto a minefield. And now TAMU White has the point. Aquatik swapping to stall hero. Jukas is going to touch first. Gets the punch onto the Genji. Puts him to half health. Oh, the Winston's going to die right away though. Not very many other resources to be able to touch this point.
Complete.
Minute 29 on the clock for TAMU White. Aquatik's going to have... Or excuse me. Yeah, for TAMU White. They had a minute 29 on the clock. Aquatik's going to have to find a way to either match that or at least leave time on the clock here. This point 2 is very difficult to attack.
And if you're TAMU White, definitely you're happy with that. A minute and a half time bank. Overall, like, because you spent so much time on your first attack, you didn't quite get as much time for second, which can be notoriously bad. You know, the good old 2CP lol has a lot of origins in this map. It can be so easy to stall out. So able to get that within just a couple of minutes, a very big win for TAMU.
And you saw a lot of ultimates were invested by Aquatik early in that defense there that they lost. And almost no value found. Dragon Strike used right away did force out the Lucio to force him to play in a different position, but nothing came of it. It just kind of felt like, oh, they're probably here, so I'm going to Dragon here to get some cheeky kills.
Yeah, and TAMU White just had a really good overall dive at the end. As you saw, you had a Nano Blade, but it ended up being the mines in the same place that the Nano Blade was heading. It just ended up getting all the kills anyways.
Looks like a very similar defense here for TAMU White, but instead of the Hanzo, they're going to look to play the Junkrat. Jelly Beetle. We saw him play Junkrat earlier on Lijiang Tower. You know he's going to look to scout. Already Griffin taking a lot of damage from Boostio. Oh, that's going to be Boostio's bread and butter this game, is keeping the Pharah from being able to pressure their backline. Unami looking in the backline. Doesn't get spotted out. Oh. And Boostio's already halfway to this Bob. Here comes the dive. Rock misses and the bubble's invested on them. Looking to just build up this Nano really quickly. Their win conditions here are Nano Monkey and Barrage with Grav. And Griffin's gonna find Jelly Beetle. Junkrat's gone. That's a big source of your damage. Now Crafty is able to take this high ground for free. April finds Nox and Stock, and already this defense is starting to fall apart. Early pickoffs from Griffin are able to spell disaster for TAMU White. And now you look at what was at one point a race for ultimates that TAMU White was winning. Now all the ultimates are in favor of Aquatik as a big comp swap for TAMU White.
Loss. New defense point.
5 minutes and 37 seconds to match the time bank of TAMU White. A lot of their squishies are playing together though. Look for the Griffin to fall in on there. The dive goes in on the backline. And the Pharah coming in from the side here. Diva's hacked. There is no DM now. She's antied in one. But they don't take the engage out of it. Diva is deemed mech, but Juka finds Crafty. Very slow engage there is going to go towards the favor of the defense. But as I say that, April's able to take the Diva out of the fight. EMP coming in. Don't think that found anybody. Nano Barrage does kill the support line though. Woken up quickly, and Griffin's going to find 3. 4 minutes, 57 seconds. They're going to have to look to stall this out here, or else this is going to be a huge time bank difference. Diva hacked again. Not going to be able to stall long when you don't have any abilities. The Winston's going to have to come next. Emptied in half. Healing Orb's not going to do anything for you, as the grab managed to catch them all. I don't know if everybody was touched. Lucio finds it. No ultimates, though, in favor of TAMU White, and this Primal's going to be able to stall them out. Bob sleeping on the job here. Here as the Lucio goes down. Riptide. Getting hacked again. And this Sombra is just not letting Riptide play the game right now. And why should you? That is the main source of how they can survive.
Complete. Score.
So both teams able to push all the way. Aquatik though looking a lot better on that attack. You know, they were able. They called the map, so hopefully you'd hope that they would be able to have a better time. But for TAMU White, coming onto this first point attack, part 2, Electric Boogaloo, you're going to want to you pretty much avoid what you did last time and just keep ramming your head into the same wall, allowing Aquatik to just use one sight line to eliminate your whole team. So again, I'm not surprised here seeing Ball Tracer early. Wouldn't be surprised to see if they just ran the same comp that they ended up switching to, just to force Aquatik to be a little bit more split. However, Aquatik coming up with some adjustments, going to do the double bubble on defense.
Complete composition swap from the last comp. Even though they had such an incredible 0.1 defense last time around, they're going to come out and they're going to give them a new look because they understand if TAMU White comes out on that Bolt Tracer, they're going to have some problem being able to control all these angles. So instead, we're going to put pressure onto the backline of TAMU White as they come in.
Defend objective A.
Although their Ana, Jelly-Dough's gonna be in a lot of pressure here. A lot of this dive is gonna be focusing on the support, and without the Brigitte as TAMU White does, they're gonna be interested to see how TAMU White takes this engage. And just like that, Genji's able to take the high ground away from them, take a lot of space, and pay for it with his life, dashing in aggressively, and then just getting melted by that Echo Blade beam. That does not get deflected, good sir. Late pile driver there, probably to build some ultimate charge for his Ana. And they're going to swap up the Genji right away. Nano Blade is no longer the goal. Instead, they're going to go on to a Soldier 76. Yanomi finds Boostio. Oh, late there. Late kill. Only 37 seconds. They're going to have to figure it out quickly. But they're going to take an engagement without him anyway. Rotating into the Mega Room here. But it looks like they're going to wrap around here. The Winston Diva are going to come in from the other side. Early engage into their backline. And just a ton of damage put in, but nothing gained out of it. They're going to almost feed their Ana. Nano Echo coming into the team. Gonna be looking for the Ana, and she does not get the Nano off. 8 seconds left, and they're going to have 2 on point here. They're going to get an overtime. Late kill onto Griffin. They might be able to turn that into something here. Juka is holding out the point as long as he can here. Is not used his minefield. Just a lot of ultimates left on the floor there for TAMU White. Does not use minefield, does not use Nano, and does not use the rally. Along with 2 ultimates at 90%.
Score 2-2. Switching sides.
Yeah, just an unfortunate situation there for TAMU White. As I said, when they had finished their attack, they were probably happy with that 1.5-minute time bank, given how poorly they had done on first. But unfortunately, the swaps that they had made were no longer effective because Aquatik, again, they understood that they were going to have to do something different. And TAMU White just didn't pick the right thing to start off. And as you said, by the time they got those ultimates built up, they just didn't use them.
Ready for battle.
So 4 minutes and 17 seconds to get 1 tick on Anubis to force a map 5. Or we might be playing a map 5 anyway if we draw here.
Yeah, I think we're playing a map 5 because it is first to 3. But under what circumstance will it be?
Lots of timing. They're going to come out on that Sombra Pharah. Lots of success with it on their first attack. But TAMU White seems to be pulling a page out of Aquatik's book and complete composition swap here for the 0.1 defense.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Probably going to be looking to get a little bit of a scout here from the Sombra before taking any hard engages here. Just lots of poke damage. Aquatik wants to draw out fights. They have enough time bake to do it. They can build up ultimates very quickly with this Sombra and this Pharah. And as I say that, Busio immediately gets caught out. Now you know me. No mercy on the side of TAMU Whites. They're going to be down one for this fight. And Crafty's going to take an engage onto the support lineup. But it's just him in there. You know me. Finds another one. And both TPS down. The heroics from You Know Me coming out again in this map. Just no chance for TAMU White once they lose both of their DPS. No ultimates required.
And Aquatik, that initial dive onto Boostio on the McCree pretty much just sealed the fight. You can call it game, set, match right there. Getting them up to that 2-2, bringing them back even as they go into map 5.
Oh, great aerial shot.
Just incredible plays here. Griffin has been showing out, just making some really highlight reel plays for the side of Aquatik.
I mean, just incredible play all around. They understood exactly what the win conditions were, and then they lost because they just were over ultimate at the end of that defense on point 2. So gotta hand it to Aquatik. They went into that map knowing what mistakes they made in King's Row. They understood that they lost King's Row because they were unable to deal with these kind of ultimates that TAMU White's putting out. And so they play the neutral game very effectively. You know me, finding kills within the first 30 seconds before any ultimates are built, and then Griffin coming in and cleaning it up.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, Aquatik really thrives in the situations where they're able to put a lot of precision damage on a focused target. And if they don't have that initial burst, they end up taking a lot of time to either set up or just give TAMU White too much time to claw back into things. And so it was great to see that once again on... It'll come to me. It'll come to me. We literally were just on the map, Temple of Anubis. It's on my screen, guys. I swear I'm not always like this.
That game mode from their brain. I get it. I mean, it's our bread. It's my bread and butter. You know, I love whipping out the crazy stuff on Temple of Anubis, but that's for a different time.
It's Overwatch 2 time, right? You know, no assault. We don't do that.
No assault.
But as I was saying, the precision kills, Aquatik are so good at that, and it really helps when you have such cohesion between your tank line and your DPS. I mean, the DPS are able to just pop off and get into good positions to put in a lot of damage anyways, but syncing that up with the timing, April and Crafty worked together with that double bubble to avoid Boostio's McCree stun, and that pretty much just doomed him from the start with the combination of the DPS dive coming from You Know Me on the Sombra, and then just being protected. Crafty was, and then able to just put the bubble down after that initial damage came through, and then they're just able to roll through. So looking like we are now going to go to Havana for our final map here.
Yeah, this seems to play a lot into the strengths that TAMU White wants to play. Long, very wide, drawn-out fights is what they want. They don't want these short, concise fights that Aquatik just seems to dominate for the most of our series here. They want to really spread them out, create chaos, and make Aquatik really think very quickly.
It looks like we're getting 1 second to get ready here, and we'll be on our way.
Aquatik starting out on the defense here. I want to see them push for their strengths here. They want short fights, and the way you can do that here on Havana is this short spawn hold. We've seen it a lot of times, not just in this league, but in any Overwatch league that you watch. We see teams really pushing for these short spawn holds so that we can gain advantages and not play the entire map. We'll just play the point that we want to play. We don't want to play the game that you have planned out. We want the one that we planned out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would imagine, as you said, that we're going to see them try to hold front on spawn, And then also I'd like to see them probably play some corners a lot, and if they get to second point, have that really be a strength from them, able to utilize a lot of the cover that comes along with that. So it'll be very interesting to see how they play it here starting out on the defense.
Wait just a second, we'll get some team composition here.
Ready for battle.
Aquatik walking out with this Rhine Sigma here, but no Lucio. So they're not going to have the ability to speed engage onto anything. I wonder if this Boostio Bastion is real,
30 seconds.
or if they're giving us a little bit of a tease.
Well, it looks like Boostio's going
And right
onto
onto the
those,
Widowmaker.
Unfortunately,
Widowmaker Farah. They're going to match the Sigma, it appears. And yep, here comes that close hold we were talking about here. Aquatik's going to be looking to take multiple angles, put one of their tanks on one side to shield the team, part of the team, and then the Reinhardt is just going to keep that point.
1. Attackers incoming.
And White going to be coming out the right door here, and they are going to pull out that Bastion. They see the close hold, and so they're going to break these shields quickly and break this little choke that they've created.
dangerous scenario here for Aquatik. As,
And Griffin finds Jellybean. Not very often do you see the Mei finding the Pharaoh like that. But Boostio's going to kill April. 1-for-1 trade here. Tank for DPS. But they're going to raid up real quick. That's got to be what they wanted the Mercy for. So they'll hold out these points much longer. We don't need to take engages onto you if we're just going to poke you with our Ashe Mei. But the Bastion is just not taking any damage now. Already building up that tank configuration. Gonna take a rock here. Or Juko. He's gonna charge into the team and pay for it with his life. Late immortality field. But Boostio was on the point and mowing down everybody.
Yeah, Aquatik did a really good job there of delaying that as much as they could, using the cover that they had with the cart and some good reses as well from their support lines to just continue to keep them on. But now that this Bastion is rolling, they're going to have to find something to quickly disrupt this.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of a compositional swap. They're going to swap to the Baptiste Zen to get some more shield break here, to be able to pressure this Bastion more. But as a result, they're going to have very few ultimates. Bob's going to be able to stall at this point for a while, but I'm not sure what they're going to do after that. Tank vision coming out. Bob sent into the back line, right in the middle of the team, is just going to be shooting the Reinhardt. Not a lot of value coming out of it. Charged out into the immortality field. Mercy ult used from Dragon. But immediately taken back by April. Oh, no! Immortality field is saved Nox and Sox, but that's going to be a trade, 2 for 2. But it looks like TAMU White's going to get the better hand here. That Bastion is still alive and being a primary source of their damage. But should I say that April finds 2 and then also puts damage into the Bastion?
Hello.
All that damage does not matter if your entire team is just going to die.
They had all they needed
swap.
there. April pulling out a couple of clutch kills, and Yunomi and Jellydo there to support them. Oh, what a nasty exit kill.
This is going to take even more time off the clock. Minute 34 left. TAMU White needs to figure out something here. They're going to make a late composition swap. I don't know if they're going to be able to build this Mei ult.
Definitely
Shooting into double
disconcerting.
shield.
Especially with the Ashe and the Hanzo, there's so much damage coming your way. It's going to be a hard ask, and using all of
It
these
looks like
abilities
Mercy's going to go back and
already.
swap to a Lucio too. Yep, there it is. They're just
That will
take a
definitely
lot
help.
of damage for nothing to build up this window. They're going to have a window engaged here to break their shield. And they're going to have to find a way to make an engagement off that. Sigma almost comes in, finds 2, but the Transcendent's going to come through. So Transcendent's able to shut down 2 different ultimates, and Yunomi's going to be able to kill 2 and the immortality field. But he's going to trade for it with his life. No more Bob in the mix. 5v4 in favor of Aquatik. But here comes TAMU White. They're going to push right into this Orisa, not give them any time to breathe. Window's going to come in, probably going to have to force them to breathe. No more shields on the side of TAMU White. Juka falling very low. Boostio also burning low. But no ultimates on their side. You got to wonder what is there going to be their engage tool here.
30 seconds.
Boostio's going to find Yunomi. They're going to be up 65. Dragon pulled in with the pull and the flux. That's going to catch 3 of the players from TAMU White and kill their entire tank line. 15 seconds. They've got to get out now. They're running out of time to be able to push this payload. Crafty does kill a little late. Jellybean Hey, Jelly, don't find Dragon Knight. I don't know who's going to be able to touch this point here.
I'm not sure they're going to be able to at all. Oh, the Riptide coming
Ball's
in on the
gonna find
ball.
But he's going to die immediately. That Bongo's not going to let him live for very long. Jelly Beetle, able to get a late touch, but not able to get this. Lucio get there in time!
Oh.
Nope, not quite. Great early picks coming in from TAMU White, but they're not able to overcome the big ultimate disadvantage that they're under. They invested so many ults to be able to just get past the first corner that by the time they actually get to the last fight, they don't have any ultimates to push them over the top.
And not only that, but as you said, that it's kind of they want these long sight lines to force a lot of damage and force Aquatik into not having as much precision damage. However, it feels like Aquatik really just kind of flipped the script on them. They brought out the Hanzo, the Ashe, and the Zen, and there was just so much damage coming down those choke points. And TAMU White, had to use all their abilities just to get up front, and then they had to try to take the fight, and they just couldn't. Even swapping to the Lucio, they just weren't able to cover the ground and get into the positions that they ultimately would have won them that first point.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a real Overwatch broadcast without the teams proving the broadcasters wrong midstream.
Absolutely.
That kind of feels like how we all see it here. It looks like TAMU White's going to be looking for another close hold just similar to that, but this time they're going to be coming out with a Lucio instead of a Mercy. Sim Bastion on the side of Aquatik, and they may have heard them. They might be looking to make a play around it here. I think they're going to split their Bastion away from the rest of their team here. Or maybe just a bit of a miscommunication. Kind of curious to see what they're doing with the Symmetra here. Teleporter coming in behind them. The Bastion's all of a sudden behind your entire team. You better quick change your shield fast or else you're not going to be able to stop it.
Griffin, though, staying behind to create an off angle.
TAMU White, though, is able to hold onto this cart, and just like I say that, Yunomi finds Dragon Knight. Without the Lucio, they're not going to be able to take engages here. And the cart is moving. They've got to stop the cart.
Crafty already has
Dying off
Shatter.
the cart like this is not doing them any good here. Early Shatter here from Crafty. Maybe see if we can get a bit of a Crafty Shatter.
So you could easily try to, again, as I was saying,
saw
flipping
one
the script,
flame
flip it on,
shatter.
flip it on Juco. You can
3 minutes to push just 20 meters. Not that much space left to go here for Aquatik. TAMU White looking for an early engage. Teleporter goes all the way up to the high ground, but nobody takes it. Not sure what that was about. And here comes the Bastion on the off angle. But they're getting all this cart progress here. And they gotta be hard to be able to push this cart with this Bastion that's in a safe position. Charge is gonna be going right into the Bastion. Juka, way out of position, is gonna die. That charge puts the entire team in danger here, and the Bastion is gonna be able to clean up the point. 10 meters left to go. If they want to make a fight out of this, TAMU White's gonna have to touch soon. Riptide on the ball, gonna be able to stall for a little bit of time. Seems to be pretty healthy for now. 2 meters, 1 meter. No one's gonna be able to touch, and that's your match, ladies and gentlemen. Aquatik finding the win and the series. They'll move on to our winners bracket.
Aquatik able to finally pull ahead. They were always playing from behind, but eventually coming here to Havana, they were able to pull out, and Jellido on the Zen. It's such a big presence. Zen, if left alone, can do so much to your team. And TAMU White found that out, unfortunately. And Aquatik was able to pull the win out. And how about that for our first match of the fall mini-tourney? We go to 5 maps, and we see an absolute barn burner between Aquatik and TAMU.
I mean, just incredible changes from each map to map for Aquatik. They understood why they lost those first few maps. They understood that they were very sloppy on Dorado, and they did not handle business on other maps. But when they came into these last 2 maps, they really showed up. Their ultimate rotations became very strong, and they did not let TAMU White dictate the pace of play. They themselves were the ones that really drove the game.
Absolutely. And so going forward, we've gotten obviously the opportunity to see those teams, and we'll see some more playing tomorrow. I believe that will be SS, Nautilus, and our reigning champions.
That's Nautilus and Celestial Wind.
And Celestial Wind, formerly Team Rocket.
Yep.
So just, and I know this is a little bit personal given that you are a Team Rocket, you played on Team Rocket, and you're still with them, though not playing for them in this tournament. Can either one of these two teams that you've seen here, can they take them out?
Oh, 100%. Celestial Wind, they're a very strong team, and they proved it last season, 4 or 5 months ago. But don't let that count out what we just saw here today. There was excellent ultimate rotation from Aquatik, just excellent gameplay in those last 2 maps. And if they could continue to improve upon that, as we've seen them improve upon this map, they could easily win through the winner's bracket and go to our finals.
Speaking of
TAMU White, they just have so many strong players, right? A lot of their wins from the early maps came from just excellent individual performances, excellent ultimates to win unwinnable fights. And so if we can just see them just gel a little bit together, really come together as a team, they have a chance to also just push this, and we could see these two back in the finals.
Absolutely, and I think the thing that impressed me the most was the in-game adaptation. Sometimes we see teams just try to run it down mid, as it were, over and over, or make slight adjustments from map to map. But both of these teams made quite a few compositional switches, some for the better, some for the worse, I will admit. But they were a lot more active and proactive in trying to find something that worked, as opposed to hoping that you could just out-mechanic them or get a lucky ultimate. And I think that will bode well for both of these teams and really the level of competition in total. Being able to make those mid-game swaps is huge and a really good sign of maturity from both of these squads.
100% agree with you.
So now let's see if we can, getting our updated bracket here. Well, it's partially updated. Aquatik will go ahead and move to the winners semifinals, whereas TAMU White will move down to losers round 1. And the winner of tomorrow's match between Celestial Wind and SS Nautilus will go ahead and meet Aquatik in that winners semis, and then the loser will meet TAMU White. And I tell you what, whether you're winning that game tomorrow or you're losing that game tomorrow, you have a tough match ahead of you after that match.
100% agree. Both teams showed that they had the prowess to be able to take maps regardless of the situation. It seemed like from the entire time that we watched those first 2 maps, it seemed like one team was definitely the chaotic team and one team was definitely the team that was trying to create team synergy. And then they completely swapped that. And now TAMU White is the one pushing the boundaries on what teams can do together. And Aquatik is just putting forth excellent plays from their DPS lineup and their support lineup, as we saw from that play of the game.
Absolutely.
Both these teams can beat you. If you want to play them in a mental game, they'll find a way to beat you. If you want to play them for mechanics, they'll find a way to beat you.
Absolutely. And going into tomorrow's match, we've got, as I said, Celestial Wind, SS Nautilus. We've obviously seen Celestial Wind before, but not SS Nautilus. So that will be their Encore Overwatch debut for our fall mini-tourney. And that will be exciting to see. And once again, you're going to have Gorbit Cheese and myself on the hot on the mic, as it were. And that will be tomorrow, Saturday at 8 p.m.
I'm very excited. A lot of great teams coming out of the SS organization. And the Celestial Wind are Season 1 champions. They almost bring back their entire roster. There's one change, and it's the main support. And then we got some changes in our DPS line. But otherwise, it's the exact same champions coming back for more.
And so
I want to get your opinion on this. Who was your player of the match, good sir?
my player of the match, oh my goodness, putting me on the spot like that.
Yep. I've got a name in mind, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh my goodness, I might have to think about this one. It's so hard to pick. It's obviously very easy to call out either one of the DPS duos. They're showing up so much in the kill feed, and just popping off whenever they want. But also, can't forget how well that tank line played. When they were pushing the tempo and controlling the pace of the game, that tank line was just dominant. Just working so well together, and the dives. I will forever be a lover of dives. So whenever I get to see some DPS comboing with a tank, harkening back to some of the early Overwatch League days to where Winston Tracer could win you or lose you a fight depending on how good that duo was. So definitely a lot of candidates here for me either way. But I think I'm going to have to go and... oh my goodness, this is so hard. I'm going to have to go and give it to Yunomi.
I agree with you 100%. Yunomi completely took over that Temple of Anubis. What felt like a complete shift in momentum. TAMU White had everything going for them. There was some concern about TAMU White's probably just going to end this right here and now, because they were so dominant on the map before on King's Row. Yunomi completely flipped it. His Sombra was incredible, completely dominating the second time they attacked. And not to mention him in tandem with Griffin, they were able to control space so well. It seemed like their tanks were able to keep things distracted on one end, and as they were distracting things on the other end, Yunomi and Griffin were killing everything. So I've got to agree with you. Yunomi was my player of the match.
Absolutely. And hopefully we'll get an interview with them over the week about this match and any other match they might play. Actually, let me take another look at the schedule, because the way the fall mini-tourney works is that we have 4 teams, obviously, and we're going to be doing it over this weekend and next weekend. So today is the very first night. We'll have a match tomorrow, Saturday, as we said, SS Nautilus and Celestial Wind. On Saturday, we are going to have, let me see here, that is going to be Losers Round 1. So that will be our first elimination match in the first week. So that will definitely
Winner
be
go
something.
home.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that. And so TAMU White and whoever loses tomorrow's matchup is going to be on the line. And given how well played this match was, if tomorrow's match brings that same intensity, Sunday is going to take it to a whole new level. It's just, it hits differently when it's do or die for sure.
And if I know Celestial Wind at all, is that we're going to see a lot of creativity tomorrow. Not just from one team, but hopefully from both teams.
Yeah, I'll take all the creativity I can get. And that will recap out our first week. And then next week, we'll once again be doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Once again, all at 8 p.m. And so semifinals will be next Friday. Losers round 2 will be on Saturday. And then the grand finals on Sunday, the 24th. Again, all times, 8 p.m. Eastern, or estimated, NA start times. You know how those work sometimes.
But join the stream.
Oh, cats. There's a cat.
She's been trying to walk up here for a while. I've been trying to push her away. I don't know if people could see me pushing her, but
sure. Finally got to appear on stream. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure, Gorby Cheese, I must say, being able to cast this first match with you.
Excellent job, Ariel.
Additional thoughts that you have just to cap the night off?
I'm just excited to watch more Overwatch. It's been 4 or 5 months without Encore Overwatch, and our first taste of it did not disappoint.
Absolutely not. Once again, 3-2, your score, Aquatik over TAMU White in a fantastic match. The VOD will be up on YouTube by tomorrow, so if you want to catch all the action again, including your cameraman missing a 5K rip tire, I'll have to make sure that highlight gets posted to the Twitter. I feel so bad that I missed that.
We've got the replays.
But we'll get the replay, and we'll get you that juicy action. But thank you all for coming out today and watching, for supporting our players, for supporting the organization and the tournament. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you had a really good time tonight watching some incredible Overwatch action. So for Gorbacheese, I'm Ariel, and we will see you guys tomorrow. See you later.